Gentlemen, start your...
All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Jack Dodson and legendary me.
Legendary me. There we go with that again.
So what do we got? What's in the news today? That Tony Stewart was right?
Yeah, and Tony Stewart was right, and it's funny how they changed the way they, they're going to fine him $35,000, then they're going to turn around and do what he said.
Yeah, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't look good in NASCAR's eyes after that ordeal.
It doesn't look good at all.
I tell you, the strange thing was that the Drivers' Council paid the fine for him,
but NASCAR came back and told him they couldn't do that. They couldn't pay the fine for him. So
I didn't see that.
He paid the fine. He took the $35,000 that they were going to pay him and donated to the Autism Society. So I mean, he made a big deal. But I don't know. You were at the race Sunday, and I was laying in the bed sick Sunday. But the thing about it was, I watched a couple minutes of the pre-race show, and they asked Tony, "Are you being you were fined $35,000? You're just coming back. Are you going to kind of tone it down?" He said, "Are you really?"
Nah.
I'm going to be me regardless of what it is. And he said, "Up the point, but he says NASCAR is great with safety. It was just something I didn't agree with, and I was just saying they dropped the ball on this one thing, and they need to pick it up. They need to do something about it." And that was all he was saying. But how about Carl Edwards? They call it a bump and run.
I loved it, but I tell you the funny thing was that the fans, it was won't quite as bad, but it was almost like when Rusty Wallace spun Darrell Waltrip out in the All-Star race when Darrell was the bad guy and he just instantly went good and Rusty kind of went bad. It was almost like that. I mean, people were kind of booing him there for a while. Not crazy, but they were booing him. I loved it.
It's nothing more than what he would have done to start with.
Correct.
So I mean, it was part of the. It's part of racing.
Tim says Stewart's a class act guy.
Well, yeah, he is. He's one of a kind.
He is a nice guy outside the racetrack.
Dale Jr. won the Xfinity race on Saturday. On Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
In his own car.
Yep.
The first time he's ever won a race in his own car, and I thought that was pretty cool.
I didn't realize.
That's the first time he'd ever won a race in one of his own cars. The last time he won a race, he was driving for Richard Childress.
In the 3.
Yeah. Some of the weekend's winners down at County Line Speedway. The dirt track down there, they had the I-95, the second round of the I-95 Speedway shootout. Russell Irwin won. Buddy Isles Jr. finished ninth. In East Carolina, Butterbean didn't double down.
No,
he finished fifth.
Fifth, yeah.
But Thomas Burbage won the race there. Chad Fincham won the race up at Motor Mile Speedway.
Yeah, that was a big deal for him, man.
Yeah, he's done won three straight, basically.
We can take credit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was on our show, so it must have been good luck.
At Hickory, Kate Dollenbach, Wally Dollenbach's daughter, won the race at Hickory. Won the late model race. She was, and they say she is good.
Yeah. Well, is she still with Childress?
Yeah, she's part of the Childress. And Madeline Crane, remember Madeline Crane? She finished fourth. So that's part of the. And some other news, Ben Kennedy signed with Gallagher Motorsports to drive their 33 truck. Right now it's for 10 races. Doesn't look like it's going to have an effect on Kaz Gralla or anybody else that was in that thing. They'll still have a couple rides in it. And Austin Cindric is going to be driving the Martin McClure car this weekend at VIR.
VIR, yeah. Which is that this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll be there. Is that Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday. That's what I thought. Yeah, Mason. Mason and that group, those guys party. If you looked it up under the dictionary, they probably had their picture in it.
Oh, you were hanging around them?
Well, I went over and was entertained. They had karaoke a couple doors down from me in the campground, and the whole group, the whole Matt Waltz, Kyle Waltz, the whole group.
I'm sure that was a pretty wild bunch there. Clayton Fry won our pick'em contest.
Who finished in what order there? Because I know we had quite a few people participating this time.
I didn't really put Gary down. His driver finished 9th. He finished ahead of you. Justin had Kurt Busch. He finished ahead of you. The only person that didn't beat you was Aaron.
Well, she had Junior, huh?
Yeah. He finished 13th. You finished 11th.
Dang. That's tight, though, for everybody.
But I finished 6th, and Clayton finished 5th. So
he won.
He won.
He said he couldn't let you get 4.
Well, hey, I've got 3, you've got 4, he's got 2. So, see what happens. Oh, here we go. Now he's going to start on us.
He said he passed Reese with the win, with 2 wins. I don't even know if Reese has anything.
He had 1.
He did? Okay.
Yeah,
there you go, Clayton. Richmond. I mean, it was a great race. I want to thank BK Racing for having us as guests, and Sweet Frogs had some great. I mean, you did a photo shoot with Sweet Frogs there.
Yeah, I did.
But it was sugar free, right? Or no, they're not sugar free. I don't think it's sugar free, but it was definitely not ice cream. It was yogurt.
I'm just going to say I did eat Sweet Frogs Friday, and I didn't come back to the track Saturday. Sunday. Anyway, so what else did you tell us about your experience up there? See, I didn't come back up there, and I didn't hold your hand Saturday and Sunday.
And I survived. I was okay.
And my wife was concerned about you.
About me?
Mm-hmm. What? She said, I know he's not being able to exist without you.
No, we had a good time. Shannon and them went. What's up, Joe Staples? It's been a long time there, buddy. I bet the cute Jack and Sweet Frogs together. Yeah, it was cute. It was cute. Ron rolled out the red carpet, and for those guys, it was neat for them guys they got to go to Victory Lane on Saturday with Dale Jr., so that was pretty neat for those guys. They got some pictures in Victory Lane, and they got to do a lot of things that a lot of people don't get to do. They got to meet Denny Hamlin on Sunday for a few seconds there. So we had a good time. The race was good, man. I think Joe Gibbs didn't seem real happy though about that whole incident at the end, but to me, I love seeing that fire in somebody. He didn't wreck him.
No, he did.
Did you see the interview with Kyle in the media center? They asked him about 3 or 4 times, so what do you think about Carl giving you a bump and run? He said, my guys did a good job. The car was good today. I mean, just completely ignored the question. They just said, yep, my guys did a great job this weekend. Car was good. We finished second. Well, what do you think about Carl Edwards giving you a bump? My guys did a good job. Car was good. We finished second. He had nothing to say. Yeah. And, they gave her a hard time for saying the S word. And Dale Jr. and Tony Stewart came to her defense on Twitter and was like, well, shoot. Dale said it like 4 or 5 times in his tweet and was like, that happens. Yeah, don't worry about it.
They had a camera. She didn't know the camera was on her.
Right.
And then, it's the heat of the moment. He gets bump and run on the end of the race. What do you expect? I mean, she's going to say something. No telling what he said in the car.
Right. No, yeah, no doubt. Tim says, reminds you of the days of Dale Sr. on the last lap. Thought I was mad when he did that to his teammate. Yeah.
Well, you got to look at it that Kyle's car kind of went away from him.
He did. He was on old tires. He stayed out on that last.
The last couple of laps, the tires were really bad, and you could see that he kind of slowed it up a little bit and I think Jeff Gordon or DW1 said he kind of got, he tried to just ride it out and try to conserve it, and he got a little too conservative because he ran him down.
It was funny. Carl's crew chief, Dave Rogers. Was it Dave Rogers this year?
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's old crew chief. He told him the last couple laps, get him, and put the pressure on him. Say, hey, we came here to win. Get him. I wonder if that's in the back of his mind that, him and Kyle didn't get along, and he just strives to beat him.
Well, if
there was a little animosity there.
But if you're going to play a team game, you're going to play the team game like this, when it comes down to those last laps, it's not a team anymore.
No.
You're out there to win the race. That's what you're being paid for. That's what your sponsors expect you to do. You're going to go out there and win a race. I mean, even the sponsors you had, they knew they had no chance. But but they were paying you to do good,
Yeah, it is, Joe. But that's what the fans come to see. And they loved it. I loved it. I mean, you can do that to me as long as you don't wreck me. I mean, I'm okay with that because if you got to me, you were faster, and it's for the win.
Yeah, it'll come back. And I'm sure Carl knows it's going to come back, but
yeah,
it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it's just But you can't be mad when the shoe's on the other foot.
No, and he can't say a word. Just like Kyle didn't say anything bad about him.
Yeah, Clayton says the 41 was the best car on the until the last pit stop. Although I heard him over the radio hollering that, how many Joe Gibbs cars passed me. Damn, I keep wanting. Who's Stewart's old crew chief?
I know you're talking about.
I'm drawing a blank. I keep wanting to say Smitty, but it's not Smitty. It's Speedy. I'm drawing a blank, but he hollered over the radio. How many how many?
It's Tony, the old man.
No, not crew chief. Tony Stewart's old crew chief, the one that's the team manager.
Oh, you're talking about Zippadelli.
Zippadelli. He says, Zippy, how many JGR's cars passed me under pit stop? He's like, hey, I know we're doing the best we can. It wasn't a bad stop. I'm just saying.
And look, how about
those guys are on fire though?
How about did you have Clint on your scanner?
No, I that would have been very entertaining, but
that and I know a lot of those guys on that 15 team. I know them, a bunch of them. When he went off on them on the radio, and I've heard it.
Which you talking about Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Saturday, the practice Saturday morning. He pulled it in with. I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes left in practice.
Said load the mother.
Yeah, just load it up. And he said,
if that's what you want to run, load it up and go to hell home. But I talked to one of the shot guys Saturday, and he said they were just baffled on the 41 car or on the 15 car. I said, well, what kind of information y'all getting? He said, last week when they ran it at Bristol, that was a 24 car. It was one of their old cars. So this one is one of the old 41 cars. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, we peeled the stickers off of it. And we had the 41 set up in it, and we couldn't beat anybody on the racetrack. We were 40 out of 40. He said, but it had...
Call from 804.
All right, here's our first guest of the evening.
6, 1.
Joining us now on the show is Alex Brock. Hello, Alex.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, how's it going with you? Welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News, and I've got the legend Scott Allen with me. And if you don't know who that is, don't worry about it. Not a lot of people do. Well, Alex, give us a little update. I mean, tell us how things are going so far this year for you.
Everything's going great so far. It's my rookie year in the NASCAR Wheeling All-American Series. Racing at South Boston currently. We're 14th in Virginia state points. And just loving every minute of it. And just taking it all in and just learning as much as we can and getting better and improving every race.
Well, I know the first race up there at South Boston, we were up there, and it was a hard day that day for you. So you got everything working good now.
Yes, sir. I got to thank my crew that day. We were about to load it up in the trailer and get it home, but we thrashed on it and got it back together to get out there in that second race and get some points. And, without them, that wouldn't have been able to happen.
Well, yeah, but now, where did you start racing and how did you get involved in racing?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I always loved NASCAR and always had the drive to want to go fast. And in 2012, we got an opportunity to rent a U-Car for a year from Steve Little at South Boston Speedway, and just took every minute of it and learned as much as we could. And, it was an awesome experience, great learning curve. My first race up there, I started 26th and finished 9th in a 25-lap race.
Mm-hmm.
It was really tough competition back then.
Yeah. And those U cars are pretty stout cars. Yeah. And they generally have a pretty good field.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, now tell us a little bit how you decided to move up to the late model series this year and why you picked South Boston.
We thought the two-tire rule would be a great opportunity for us. We had got my new car last year in the middle of summer and planned on running some NASCAR tracks. Originally, we were looking at running Langley, but since they weren't open, and we decided that South Boston started first, and that'd be a great opportunity to go out and get some points and, step up the learning curve and see how we could do.
So what made you well, let me back up. How did you get involved in racing? Was there somebody in your family that pulled you to racing, or were you guys already involved in the racing of some sort?
My family has Brock's Barbecue, and we always catered the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown, and always had affiliations with the race teams. And being able to go into the pits and interact with the other drivers and just be there at Richmond really drive me to want to go racing. Just that whole experience there.
Now, did your parents think you were crazy when they said when you said you wanted to go racing?
Not at all. They supported me 100%.
That's good.
Well, next time we have you on the show, we expect you to come to the show and bring Brock's Barbecue with you.
I seen him post. Well, I seen somebody else post a picture of him, and they were serving some barbecue, and I was thinking, well, damn, I didn't see him over there. I'd have went and got me some barbecue.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of, how was your company this weekend?
It was good.
You're really short with these answers today.
Tracy's watching, so you better be careful what you say.
Don't say a whole lot about, I saw a picture where Maddie was in your car. Now, who helps who the most?
Sir?
Who helps who the most? I saw a picture of Maddie in your car. So who helps?
We both help each other out.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to make sure because, Tracy's got a lot of money and everything. He could probably really help you out with his car, help him with your car. Yeah, I see you just staying right in the middle here, aren't you?
He's not dumb. He's not dumb. So who's your crew chief over there on the late model?
I have Chris Hopkins and Sean Hopkins and Brandon Butler.
Brandon Butler.
Yes, sir.
He's everywhere.
I'm telling you. Now, have you been to some of his races? I know he raced at Motor Mile this past weekend, right?
Yes, sir. I was with him at Martinsville the previous year on test day, but we parked next to him and we kind of helped each other out that day. But he's been tied up with his racing, and I've been tied up with my racing, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to go to the track with him.
So we're talking to Alex Brock, late model driver in the All-American Wheeling.
All-American Series.
Yeah, I'll get it straight. So do you plan on running any other racetracks, or are you just going to try to concentrate on SOBA?
We're possibly going to run Dominion next month. Not too sure yet, but looking to possibly do that for a couple races.
Are you gonna go to Martinsville?
Hopefully, if we still have a car by the end of the year.
No, that don't sound too good there.
Sometimes you don't get a car back when you go to Martinsville.
Very true.
Yeah, that can be a tough place. So what's been the hardest thing to learn going into the late model?
From first off, I started at Southside on the 8-inch tire, and adapting to learning at a short track like that on limited tire and just short track sprints really helped me with my learning curve. And then just getting a new car, and that just pretty much helped having a new car and adapting to that and having a bigger tire with the 10-inch tires.
All right, we got a question from Jeffrey. He wants to know, have you raced iRacing at Sobo?
Yes, I have. iRacing has been a great help. It's learned me how to set up a race car. Helped me learn my line, helped me learn pretty much everything in South Boston, and it's been a great help.
Now, do you have one of those big, fancy setups?
I do, but I don't have the chair and all the movements in it.
Now, I'm going to ask the $100,000 question.
Uh-oh.
If it comes down to the last lap at Sobo, and Matty Ryan and you are running 1-2, who's going to win?
Are you going to pull a Carl Edwards?
I'm not too sure. I race everyone on the track with respect.
Yeah, you're good, man. I'm telling you right now. I love your answers because I'm trying to get something started, and you ain't falling for it.
He's smarter than you and I am because we just like, well, we wreck her.
No, she's a good girl, and she's done well, and she's learning the late models just like you are.
She's not a girl anymore. She's a young lady.
Young lady, okay, whatever, young lady. But now tell us a little bit about your sponsors and everything you got for the year, and what's going on with you there.
Okay, I have Farm Bureau of Chesterfield, Bullseye Glass out of Alet, Virginia, Pep Boys, Vaughn Enterprises, and Brock's Barbecue. And without any of them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. And I'm very fortunate to have them on board with us this year.
Do they make you work at the restaurant?
Yes, sir, I do.
What nights do you work?
It just depends. I run some deliveries and I do some catering, and just whenever somebody wants full service catering, I'll go on a couple jobs here and there.
Oh, so you're not in the restaurant very often?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we won't come by there and try to look for a free meal then.
Right.
Hey, y'all can come by anytime.
So who at South Boston do you go to for advice when you first showed up? Well, hell, you got pretty good people on your team.
Absolutely. I've Peyton Sellers and their whole organization has really helped us out on helping me learn and all that. Peyton's been a great help. Chris and Sean both have ran South Boston. Brandon's ran South Boston. So with the combination of all of them helping me, it's really helped.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a big day coming up Friday, so tell us what your plans are for Friday.
Loading up a race car, probably.
So that's it?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. Well, I just want to I'm gonna wish you a happy birthday early because
thank you.
How old are we gonna be?
18.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
man,
well.
You better hurry up, man. Time's ticking.
Maybe you done be caught up with me for long.
Uh-oh.
Lord, man.
Well, anyway, Alex, we appreciate your time tonight, being on the show with us and everything. We've been wanting to get you on for a while. I know you had a tough start at the beginning of the season, and so I kind of let you alone for a while. But you go out there and get some wins, and we're gonna get you back on here real soon.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
All right, thank you, man. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Better go by for some barbecue next time we're at Sobo. Cause I bet I haven't ate theirs, but
you're willing.
Barbecue's okay.
But you're willing to try.
Yeah.
Well, no doubt in my mind, you were willing to try it.
When it comes to barbecue, yes.
Well, I didn't get the answers I was looking for from him, so I'm gonna school him next time I talk to him. Yeah,
he's not no dummy.
He didn't even buy the fact that Tracy had a lot of money and could help him.
Well, Tracy put that straight. He said no.
So
Tracy was quick to answer that. He said no.
Well, Tracy, Tracy, you got all that money. You ought to help him out a little bit. You spent the whole weekend up there around him, so you can go and help him a little bit.
I figured that's who won the free ticket.
Could have been. Could have been. All right, whatever you want to talk about to kill till Lenny calls in here. Well, we just went dead air there for a minute.
Well, everything's a beeping and whatever. No. What else do we got? Who we got? Let's tell everybody who we got coming up. We got Lenny Batycki from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Talk about the 600 coming up, and maybe talk about the 4 wide that just happened this weekend.
That was one of the questions I wanted to ask. They said that was really wild. We're going to have Kathlyn Tunnell, who is the general manager at Kingsport Speedway and Lonesome Speedway.
Dang.
So she's got a lot going on. And then we're going to have Kathlyn Emilee Riley. And she is a late model driver for the Elite Performance Motorsports. And she ran Greensville Pickens this past weekend. She has run at Kingsport, Hickory. She's been around. So it'd be really cool to see what she's got going on.
Tracy said he's a good kid. I know he didn't win the ticket. He was already invited, I guess.
What's he doing about me?
Robin is talking about Talladega this weekend.
Oh.
Earnhardt country.
Okay. Anyway, well, we're waiting on Lenny Batycki to call in here to talk about Charlotte.
Yeah, so if you got any questions about Charlotte, let us know, and we'll try to get them answered from Lenny.
Well, Lenny will be on the chip when he calls in. He'll be ready to go when he calls. And
Tracy said he can't afford Maddie's car. Said they have a new motor coming tomorrow from Clark's. You already gone through a motor, Tracy? I feel like we're waiting for Langley Speedway to open. But I understand there is another offer been made this Friday or Saturday, and hopefully we'll hear something soon.
We've been saying that ever since.
I do. I seen Wayne Wyatt there, and he said that he had heard from 4 different people that didn't know each other or wasn't affiliated, and they all said the same thing, so he feels fairly confident that we'll have something soon.
And still nothing on what's going on at
what the hell?
What's going on at Southampton Speedway either, because we don't know what that's going on up there at all.
Man, our pictures went. Let's see. Oh my God! Let's switch back. Kind of weird there. Our camera's gone.
Call from 704-779-000.
And joining us now from Charlotte Motor Speedway is Lenny Batycki. How you doing tonight, Lenny?
Oh, doing great, guys. Great to be on. It's a pleasure to have so many short trackers on your show. I'm honored to be on with Karen from Kingsport Speedway and one of her racers, and then of course, Kathy Rice has such a good program over at South Boston to have one of hers. Jack, you guys have really done it up well tonight.
Well, we try our best to keep it a little bit of, delve into both sides of the world, let's see what's going on.
Well, you definitely got it going on, and you had some good races up there at your neck of the woods up at RIR, and now we head to Alabama with the NASCAR boys. Before we know it, you're going to be over here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the All-Star race and the 600 and just about anything else we can throw at them in 10 days of NASCAR Thunder.
I tell you what, I can't wait to get back to Charlotte because I enjoyed the trip down there last year, and I can't wait to get back there this year for the 600. That's going to be a lot of fun.
The folks from Coca-Cola have, just been going great great guns at it. They've thrown us lead rights, special concerts that them and the Speed Perks folks have gotten together. That'll be a rocking good time on Memorial Day. That tribute to our heroes from, all the generations that have protected our freedoms and constitutions as we lead into the Coca-Cola 600 on Memorial Day weekend. I don't think anywhere in America celebrates men and women, the patriots that have kept us free for these hundreds of years. And I think of anything that our employees at Charlotte Motor Speedway get behind, it's that celebration leading into the Coca-Cola 600. And it's the perfect, setup for that 600 miles. But these loose race cars, Jack, how tired are those boys going to be? They're winded by 500 miles, and we're going to throw another 100 at them in the heat of Memorial Day weekend. That's going to be awesome.
I'm going to tell you something. They're going to have some stamina by the time it's over with.
Yeah.
But look.
Yeah, they better get their coolers packed as well. And, no rules and low downforce cars for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star race the week before. We might put them upside down. We might get them sideways. I don't know who's going to win that thing.
You got that right. That's going to be a wide open race. And that race this weekend at Richmond, I mean, that was an unbelievable finish at that race. And we've seen some really good racing this year.
Yeah, the gloves are going to come off. And, I know the fans have waited and waited and waited. But now it's time to look at these races and see bump and runs by teammates, to see dive bomb passes at Bristol, to see that finish at Daytona. How much more do these guys got to prove to folks that these are better racing than we've had in years? Get back to the way we like to see it. No, we're not going to get, cars like we had in the 70s and 80s out there. We've got these slick-looking race cars that are really cool to see. We've got great-looking stadiums all across the NASCAR circuit. The fans just need to come back out and have a party with us because we're having some good times watching these races.
You got that right. Now, Lenny, what's going on down at Charlotte during the 10 days that's different from, you got anything new going on that's going to be different this year?
I think we focused in on the things that we seem to have a pretty good time at doing. We've got the Friday night North Carolina Education Lottery 200 for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. The thing I like about that is, you talk about young stars. You've got Daniel Hemrick, William Byron, John Hunter Nemechek. You're going to see a lot of the generation that we've seen on the short track, like South Boston, like Kingsport, like Langley, like Southside Speedway.
Yeah.
You're going to see racers that just a year or two ago were running in the Legend Series. They're our guys. That's who we want to come cheer for. And then the All-Star race with, Andy Grammer. Now, I'm 50-some years old, and I don't get all of today's music, but I've never seen the kind of response that the young people have had to this Andy Grammer. He's going to put on a show. He was on that American Idol or whatever it was before.
Yeah.
And, before NASCAR Sprint All-Star race, I think us old folks going to learn a new trick or two because he's going to be out there, doing his thing. And then that All-Star race, that's a pretty good weekend right there.
You got that right. That's just the beginning.
Yeah, because we're going to run the Legends cars on the all-new fifth file on Monday and Tuesday. Get ourselves just a little bit of break, and then on Thursday was pole night. And then Friday we got the World of Outlaws and a great late model race on the dirt track. So it don't matter if you like pacing or dirt, you got something to do at least during those 10 days. And then the Hyson 300 for the Xfinity Series. Who knows going to come away with that one? And then that 600 with the Lee Bright concert, the patriotic tribute before. I mean, you're packing an awesome amount of time. And the camping experience, if anybody loves to camp, come and see the great outdoors while you see the great door-to-doors at the Coca-Cola 600 weekend in Charlotte.
Yeah, I think Scott and I have already said we're probably going to come down there with our camper and stay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is the way. Forget this hotel price. You want to lower the cost of going to a race? Get one of our packages where you can camp. And it's not just a high-dollar camper. If you bring a tent, we have spots for your family with showers and places to go and all the amenities so that you can still have a good experience and bring your cost of going to races down to where you can manage it and still see the stars and the cars of NASCAR in Charlotte.
Yeah, I was looking earlier. They got camping from like $150, $125 on up, and it's very reasonable compared. That's just one night in a hotel.
Yeah, absolutely, and you get the whole shebang with it. And our camping folks really treat you right. If you need a little bit of help somewhere somehow, they are there. They're not just people that we have come in on the weekend and never see. They're there all year long because we're starting to become come by and camp any day at our speedway, because the same genuine people that'll be there for our big races are there every day of the week doing their job and inviting folks to come and stay with us as well.
Yeah, it's an experience all the way around. Now, tell us a little bit about the 4 Wide Nationals this past weekend. That's something I got to get down to see that too, because I really want to see what's going on there. That sounds interesting.
My body's still shaking. My ears are ringing. 40,000 horsepower. The only side-by-side drag race. And now we're really getting ready, already for the September time. That month is going to be packed with everything from those world-class MXGP motorcycle racers and the Z-Max Dragway. But the 4 Wide was record-setting. Virginia's Matt Hagan, he set the funny car record, and then he had that Alexis DeJorio blow it away with her funny car. We had Brittany Force, John's daughter, winning a dragster. I mean, everything was going. It was a record sellout crowd, a historic time. The TV ratings were up, and NHRA drag racing has gotten itself going pretty well this year as well. Motorsports is alive and well at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Is there anything that y'all don't have? I mean, y'all got pretty much about everything there at Charlotte.
Well, you've got the dirt track, which hosts the World of Outlaws World Finals, as well as the May Showdown. The 5th mile, got the big oval, got a road course that's spectacular for our events on the inside of the road course. We're just here to offer the fans the opportunity to come have fun, and we're always trying to find ways to make their experience better and find it at price points that they can afford. From the camping to the tickets, there's always some way that we can find a way to make sure that you have a great racing experience at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I will say that's 100% true, Lenny, because obviously we go to some racetracks. The tickets are less for Charlotte, and the camping is definitely less at Charlotte than it is most other places.
Well, we appreciate it. We try to be fair. We've got to pay bills too. We've got a lot of race fans that have turned into our employees. So when you call to get your tickets, your camping, to whoever, you're probably going to talk to somebody that's been at the short tracks that you have, that's cheered for or against the drivers that you cheer for. They know what they're talking about because they love it, like the fans that we have that come to visit with us love it. And I think that's what a special bond we have with so many of these. You call the ticket office, you speak to your personal ticket agent, and you get to develop a relationship. If you can't sit in the seat you want this time, they keep an eye out. They move you there as quick as they can, and then you've got that really special bond that we have fans coming back. We've had fans coming to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the same fans, more than 50 years. That's what is a real plus.
Yeah, it's an experience all the way around, especially the 600 weekend with the tribute, like you mentioned earlier. It's just a great event to be a part of. I mean, I enjoy it.
And it's close to the race shop, so people can, when things are not going on at Charlotte, they can go over and visit some race teams and see behind the scenes of how much goes on.
Well, you've got Hendrick Motorsports, which we can literally see out the front door of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tony Stewart's shop is about 3 or 4 miles away. You've got Roush Racing. You've got Gibbs that's not very far away from us at all. Whether you want to go to Penske, that's right up in Mooresville. The NASCAR Hall of Fame. You want to see the legends of the sport in our hall? Well, the NASCAR Hall of Fame is just down in Charlotte, and you don't even have to worry about parking down there because we take tour buses from Charlotte Motor Speedway. So if you camp or you come, you park your car at the Speedway, and we'll take you down to the Hall of Fame.
You can't beat that.
We got to experience the Hall of Fame this year, and I'm gonna tell you something. That was an experience that I will never forget, and it was a wonderful time for us, even with the snow going on. But it was a great place, and a lot of people need to go see that.
Well, and we appreciate you guys for coming down. This show has become a real focal point for a lot of the race fans to listen to. And you guys dig in and get out there. You don't stay in some bunker and just record what you see on TV. You're down here at our media tour. You're down here at our races, and we're honored to be a part of what you do. And just hope the fans will follow you down to Charlotte Motor Speedway. They can go to charlottemotorspeedway.com. They can call the phone numbers. They can find any way they can contact us. We'll be honored to have them come and visit and experience the race at our track like you guys do as well.
Now, do you have a pick for the 600 and the All-Star there, Lenny?
Oh, you know, I'm kind of watching. I want to see how things shape up this weekend because I want to look around and see who pairs up down in Alabama. Because there may be, I don't know whether Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards like each other anymore. And Carl won our 600 last time. Danny Hamlin, his teammate, won the All-Star race. There might be, things may get a little salty, let's say, over at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah,
Dale Jr. got second in the last couple of races after he took Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't know with that group.
Yeah.
And the way Joe Gibbs Racing, I mean, it could be any of the four of those guys.
It really could, but I think those Hendrick guys are due for a breakout. And I'll tell you one young man that I think, as much as I think Chase Elliott's going to get him one for Hendrick, I think that Ryan Blaney's going to be a Ford star.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
They're going to be the stars of the sport in very short time because they have the talent and everything they need to become very, very, very well.
Yeah.
And I'll go the other way as well. You know, I love seeing that underfunded Matt D. Benedetto kid up in Bristol. That was, he was a UARE Stars kid. He was a Hickory Motor Speedway kid. He's crawled and scratched and finally made the big stage. And I saw another bit of it last weekend in the Xfinity race over there at your place with Blake Cook and that Brennan Poole kid from Texas.
Yeah.
There's a couple more names coming up.
Yeah.
And I've always been a fan of Matt D. Benedetto. He's I've seen him when he was 14 years old racing at Hickory and running a four-cylinder car there and winning 13 out of 14 races.
Yeah.
I mean, he was awesome, and I could see where his talent was right there.
You got a good eye because he really, really has that kind of talent. And it showed when he had his shot, he didn't flinch. He went right for it. And, I hope good things continue to come for that guy that is working as hard as any. And that's the kind of Dave Marcus time and the kind that we used to say don't exist in NASCAR. It's only big money. I think D. Benedetto, Cook, and Poole have shown that, if you put a little bit together, you can still go a long enough way to get noticed.
You got that right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he didn't come from any money. I was talking to his dad this weekend, and his dad's an appliance tech. So, I mean, they don't have any, money to support him, and he's doing it all on his own.
Well, bless him for that. And, that's the kind of thing that you can say, well, I don't like so-and-so, and I don't want to see this rich kid do this or that. But you know what? You're depriving yourself and you're depriving the opportunity for drivers like D. Benedetto to get cheering sections going so that they can get their shot. If you love a lunchbox, blue-collar guy, I'd get behind a Matt D. Benedetto and come out and cheer him on. Whether you come out only to pole night because you don't want to stick around for the whole thing, or you come out for the 600 and you're the loudest voice in your section to make sure that one guy knows he's got at least one fan there to make him go up against the big boys. It does matter, and that your voices are heard.
You got that right. And I tell you, I enjoyed talking to him this weekend at Richmond for the day I was up there, and it was unbelievable. He was so excited, and he was still walking around on a cloud. So it's really cool to see.
Well, guys, it's great to chat with you, and I know you've got some short trackers that you've got to talk to tonight. I believe you've probably talked to one or two already, but I don't want to take any of their time. We love what goes on at Southside. We hope Langley is able to get together that new Dominion Speedway up north of you and just get out and support those short tracks. The future of racing is there. Please come see us at Charlotte Motor Speedway to our 10 days of NASCAR Thunder. We're going to put on a good time next month at Charlotte.
All right. Well, we're going to be there, so we're looking forward to seeing you down there.
You bring a bunch with you, man. We're going to have a party. Thanks for having me on.
All right. We appreciate your time, Lenny. Thanks a lot.
Our pleasure. Bye-bye.
I told you he was going to be on the chip. And he got
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it was funny because I was thinking we're going to have plenty of time. Well, who we're going to fit in, but he had knocked it out in the first 3 minutes.
I didn't even get to ask the questions I was looking for.
I know, right?
But that's what he does. I mean, that's... All right.
Call from 2763.
All right. Welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen. Is this Karen?
Yes, it is.
How you doing tonight, Karen? How's everything down your way?
Hey guys, I've had a beautiful sunny day here today.
Well, good. I'm glad it's been a sunny day here too, but I hear we got some rain coming. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit now. When I started looking into having you on the show, one of the things that was most interesting to me is your involvement in 2 racetracks. How in the world did that come about?
Well, actually, I've grown up at both Lonesome Raceway and Kingsport Speedway. I was hired to manage Kingsport Speedway in 2014 after a 3-year term with Robert Presley. He actually opened the Speedway back in 2011. Mm-hmm. And Keith and Urban Stiltner that actually lease Kingsport now in Lonesome Pines, they were needing someone to manage Lonesome Pine also, so I stepped up to the plate and took both.
How do you manage to keep up with everything going at the 2 tracks? I mean, isn't it a little bit of a distance between the 2?
Actually, I live 10 minutes from Lonesome Pine, and the drive to Kingsport's not bad. It's about 55-minute drive. We only run Lonesome Pine twice a month, 2 Saturdays. We run Kingsport every Friday night. I have all of my officials, all the employees do both tracks, so you see the same faces at both tracks. It's just a different location. So I've got a lot of really good people that help me.
Well, it's really interesting. I was at Lonesome Pine a few years ago. It's been a while now. I really loved that track and loved where it was at and everything there. And you say you only run it 2 times a week. What kind of classes do you run there?
We run, of course, both of our tracks are Wheeling All-American Series, NASCAR sanctioned. We run late model stocks, modified straights, pure 4s, modified 4s, and we've just started a stock V8 class that's called the Pure Street.
Wow. Now, you got one of your guys down there at Kingsport just had a big win up at Bristol. How exciting was that for you guys down there?
That was very exciting. Chad Fitcham, he is a really nice young man, nice family. He has ran with us. He was actually our 2013 late model champion at Kingsport and 2014 late model champion at Lonesome Pine. So he also went at Motor Mile Speedway this past weekend and won. He beat Lee Pulliam and a lot of the guys. So it's really uplifting to know that, you was kind of a stepping stone along the way for somebody with that much talent. He's hooked up with Mark McClure Racing, with Eric McClure, and the young man is just very talented, and I really feel like he's going places.
So how did you get your start into racing, or your involvement?
Well, my dad ran modifieds many years ago, back around Maryland and Pennsylvania. He moved to Virginia, kind of got out of the racing deal, but I have a lot of family that races, and my husband races, so I've worked at a speedway for the last 16 years. I was competition director at Volunteer Speedway in Bulls Gap, Tennessee, and like I said, between Lonesome Pine and Kingsport over the years, when one would shut down, I would just move to the other, so I never thought I'd be doing both at once. So it's very interesting. I laugh and tell them when I have a bad day at work, I can't get away from it because I come home, the garage door's open, and I got a husband and I'm working on his car that wants to fuss about something too, so it makes it very challenging.
Now, the guys that run Kingsport, do a lot of them come up and run at Lonesome Pine too, or is it basically?
Yes, we have a lot of the same numbers. The Friday nights is, it can be challenging to get off work and get there, in time. We don't start until 8 p.m. on Fridays, but most of the guys, I would say 75%, they'll come up to Lonesome Pine also. We really believe in, treating our people with respect, and we try to be good to everybody. So I think that goes a long way in the racing industry. And you have these guys that, they'll come up and support you on Saturdays that you run up there also.
Well, now, one of the things that it's got to be a hard thing to do. How is the attendance at these racetracks going these days?
The Lonesome Pine, we're holding out on that. Of course, it's located here in the coal fields in Southwest Virginia. The attendance is up and down, but it's doing really good. And Kingsport, it's a quite a large town, and we do really well there. This year is our 51st year at Kingsport. It's their 20th year this year on the concrete surface, and it's just rich in history. And you've got a lot of locals at both places that supported both of those tracks through the years and through the transitions of management and ownership. And we're just kind of in our own little race hub here between Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee.
Now, what do you guys do to try to promote ticket sale or bring people in?
We do a lot of different things. We've got a really awesome kids club. We do some Power Wheels races and stuff. We actually made it on Fox News last year. It was quite humorous. With our kids' Power Wheels races, we do a lot of stuff for families. We started doing a racers reunion every year, bringing back some of the older guys. That was a big hit for us last year. We had them, that had raced since 1965 there at the Speedway at Kingsport up until the present day, and just to get those guys back and get them down on Victory Lane and put them back in Victory Lane where they used to be and introduce them to all the new drivers. And, like I said, a lot of people that come to the Speedway has been there over the years, so it's just refreshing to be able to introduce the old to the new and, make friendships there with those guys.
Now, what kind of special events do you have during the course of the year, like big races or anything like that? What kind of special events?
Yeah, we do the Southeast Super Truck Series. Jeff Myers, they are really super guys to work with. They also bring the vintage cars. Some of you all may have seen those. Mm-hmm. And this year we're bringing the Coma Modified. We're really excited to do that. And just a lot of different things along those lines. To bring something exciting and different, to where the fans can get a taste of these other series without having to leave their hometown. Now,
how long has Lonesome Pine been there? I mean, that's been there for a long time, hasn't it?
Lonesome Pine opened up in 1972. Marty and Russell Large, they were in the concrete business, and it was really a track that was ahead of its time with the facilities. And it's probably one of the most, and I'm not putting any other tracks down, but it is probably one of the most beautiful facilities that I've ever been to. It's nestled down deep in the mountains. It's just an awesome little place.
It really is. I agree with that because I came up there for a Hooters Cup race a few years ago, and I'm gonna tell you something. It was an outstanding location for a racetrack.
Yes, it's a beautiful place.
Now, is Danny O'Quinn and all those guys still come around at the racetrack?
Yes, Danny O'Quinn, actually, his shop is located just above the Speedway. He could pretty much throw a rock and hit the Speedway. He was actually at our event this past Saturday night at Coburn. He helps a couple teams. He came and raced with us last year at our Halloween race that we had at Kingsport. He stays pretty active. He's actually doing the trailer business for his mother and daddy. He's gotten married, has a baby, but he still makes himself known around the Speedway.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time, and I remember when he was with Roush, and he was a cool guy. Really enjoyed being around him.
Yes, he's still very talented. He actually came to Lonesome Pine last year at the first of the season and won one of our late model races. So there's still quite a bit of talent still there. He just doesn't have a lot of time to race.
So if you had to get on your husband, being you work on one side of the business and he races, has there been conflict before?
Actually, we haven't had any conflict. He had more. Robert was there in 2013. He won the first race out in Kingsport. We had a little controversy over scoring, and we had to take the win back away from him, but it was an error on our part. And I kind of chuckled at that. I said I was kind of glad it was him. I had to call and tell him he had to give his trophy back because he didn't say anything about it. But he's been successful over the years. He's won 86 races and 4 championships, and this was long before he and I ever had gotten married. So of course, there's probably going to be people. But he handles his stuff really well. I had to take a win from him. I had to DQ my cousin last year, so as far as favoritism, no, they don't get favoritism.
No, I can see.
If anything, I'm probably the one that gets fussed out more than anybody else because when they show up at the tracks, they're just like anybody else.
Well, I bet Thanksgiving dinner is a little rough.
I was getting ready to say, you're right. There ain't nobody going to get no favoritism on that group.
Apparently not.
I didn't get any Christmas presents from a few of them.
Yeah, I guess you didn't get none of them.
You know, and I won't go. I wanted to ask if you had to DQ him or not, but that was pretty good.
No, I DQ'd my first cousin last year, and then the first race of the season this year, I had my cousin and another guy in the tech building giving them a good chewing. So no, these boys don't get any favoritism.
Now, you didn't go eat with them after that. That's over with it.
Oh no.
She wasn't invited.
That has to be.
Yeah, it's a challenging role to be a female in this sport. I've got a lot of good friends, Kathy Rice at South Boston, Michelle Vault at Motor Mile, and Sylvia Porter at Anderson. And usually when I have something come up, I give one of these 3 ladies a call because I feel like they have a wealth of knowledge in this type of business. So, I turn to those 3 gals before I turn to anybody else.
Well, I'll tell you something. I don't know if Kathy and them have ever had to DQ one of their cousins and their husband and everybody else. I think they'll probably need to turn to you how you handle that.
Yeah, really.
Oh, like I said, my Christmas card list is getting shorter and shorter.
Like me, I used to tell my grandmother my family tree was just one branch. I didn't have no family.
Well, we appreciate your time tonight, Karen, and we enjoyed talking to you. Hope everything goes well at the 2 tracks. We'll get you back on here at the end of the year, and you can tell us a little bit what's going on.
Okay, guys, come and see us at either place, anytime. We'd love to have you.
All right, well, we would love to come down and visit. I'll tell you that. We'd like to visit the tracks.
All right, sounds great.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How'd I get it with her? She and I became talking on Facebook, and
That sounds like where she and I became a.
well, we were talking on Facebook, and then I saw that she was.
7, 8, 3.
That's who she is.
All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News, and this has got to be Emilee Riley. How you doing, Emily?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. How's everything down your way?
It's good. It's actually been beautiful.
Now, give us a little background on how you got started racing and everything, because I was reading into some of your stuff, and you've been racing for a little while.
Yeah, I've been racing for 8 years now. I actually just grew up riding dirt bikes and four-wheelers and stuff like that. And my dad actually bought my little brother a quarter midget car when we were younger. And I remember getting so mad because I had begged him at the time to race dirt bikes and stuff like that. And he brought my little brother home a quarter midget, and I was like, "Where's mine?" So then he had to go right back and get me one. So me and him got to race together for a little while, and then he ended up giving it up for golf. So my dad really didn't think that I would be the one to stick with it.
So to give us a little background on I know you've won some Rookie of the Years and everything. Tell us a little bit about I know you drove some trucks too, so tell us a little bit about that.
Brag about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Good, I get to be conceited for a little bit.
There you go.
Hey, that's part of being a race car driver is being conceited. I'm sitting beside one.
Well, we started in the quarter midget series, and we didn't really run much of that, but we ended up hurrying up and moving because I kind of got a late start compared to most people. So we moved up to the Mini Cup series, and we got second in the nation in the Open division, and then we got Rookie of the Year in that. So then we moved up to the Pro Challenge series, and we got second in Georgia for points in that. And then we moved up to the trucks, and me and my dad accomplished this together, but we got the track champion at Gresham Motorsports Park 2 years in a row. And then we got Rookie of the Year in that, and I was the first female to get the track champion and Rookie of the Year. And then we moved up to late models and late model stocks, and we haven't got any championships or anything in that yet, but we're going to hope to do that hopefully next year.
Now tell us a little bit of who you're driving for. You're driving for another team now, right?
Correct. Me and my dad started together, but right now we're driving for Elite Performance Motorsport. And it took us a while to kind of decide to go that way, but once we met them, I mean, they're basically like family now. I mean, we can cut up and have fun together, and it's like family pretty much. But on race day, we're pretty serious, and they put me in my place, and that's what I need.
So you race? Your dad drives too?
No, he used to do some racing when he was younger, but I mean, he never raced dirt late models or late models or anything like that. So it was basically like a learning experience for both of us, and it still is. But it's kind of cool that we get to do that together.
Mm-hmm. Now you got one of the, I guess, a legend in some of the local late model racing and stuff like that. Toby Porter helping you out. Tell us a little bit about how his influence on you how he's had influence on you.
Yeah, he actually knows Joey Bishop and Jimmy Austin really well. And I had never met Toby. I just heard about him because he was the best at Grimble Pickens. And, I mean, it's a hard track to figure out, especially when I'm used to Gresham, which is banked and fast. And then this track's flat. So I've been having some struggles pretty much. And Toby came out. I finally convinced him to get in my car, actually, the last race, which was very difficult because I'm 5'1", 110 pounds. And he was like, oh my gosh. But I got him to get in there, and he basically coached me all night, and we ended up getting a 4th place finish at Greenville. And it was the first time in the limited late model series. We actually weren't going to run it, but our race got rained out at Anderson on Friday, so we kind of decided at the last minute to do that. So we get a 4th place finish with that, and he coached me the whole time on the radio, which is awesome. And he's like, we're going to improve from here. So I can't wait to see what we can do just later on in the season, because I know we're going to have wins coming up.
Now, what does your 2016 schedule look like, and what kind of tracks are you going to be running?
It's kind of just varied right now. We're not running too many races. We're running mainly at Greenville and South Carolina. We're going to run probably a Kingsport race and a Myrtle Beach race. But we don't have a ton of races scheduled just because of funding. So hopefully next year we can get a lot and at least go 40 races, because I'm all for that. My dad's like, that's so much money. But I need the experience. I want to get to NASCAR, right. So I need more seat time, and I want to be confident and comfortable when I get up in there.
Right. Time is now.
That's right. Now, have you ever considered trying out for the diversity program and any of that stuff to get going in that?
We've talked about it. We haven't really looked a lot into it. I know right now, just with the group of guys that I'm with, I mean, Joey Bishop and Jimmy, they help Kyle Benjamin, and he's gotten very far.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I don't really know if I would go into something like that. I mean, it'd be an option. But I just want to kind of see how this year goes, especially with Toby on board. Because, I mean, I was all for that. I was like, yeah, I mean, he's a legend. He's won so many races, and I mean, he can just get in the car and win in anybody's car. So just to have somebody like that one-on-one helping me is just crazy. I never would have thought that I would have had that.
Now, when you racing against some of these guys and being a female in a predominantly man sport, how is it difficult? Do people treat you differently, you feel?
This was like a big problem I had in the beginning, just because, I mean, I had like grown men that would come up to me, and at the time, like, I'm 17 years old, and they're just like, well, you're just a rookie, and you don't need to be in here, or you don't need to be doing this, you need to go back home and get in the kitchen or whatever, and I kind of got mad about it at first, but you just kind of laugh at it. I mean, I don't want to be any different than a guy out there, so my cars have always been like red, black and white, so if you saw my car, you really wouldn't even know that I'm a female unless you knew me. But I mean, I wanted to be fair and even, and I don't want to be taken easy or harder. I just want to be just like everybody else.
Now, the guys that were giving you a hard time, were they the ones that you were beating?
Most of the time, yes.
That's what I figured.
There's a few. There's a few that we actually had to put in their place, and after that, we became best of friends. So it was really crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, like, if I'd have known this, I would have wrecked you a long time ago.
Now, we all know that Charlotte's kind of like the hub of racing and everything. And when you're a young driver, that's usually where a lot of people end up going. Do you have any thoughts of ever trying to get up to the Charlotte area to be more in the center of racing?
Yeah, we've thought about it. Me right now, like, I'm about to graduate college. I mean, I still have one more semester. So I definitely want to get that knocked out of the way first, and then kind of go into my career a little bit more. Because right now I've been kind of focusing on racing and school, and it is hard being full-time and going for 4 years and taking 6 courses every semester. It's difficult, and having to learn, like, the marketing side to market myself. So, I mean, it's difficult, but I do see us moving up there, because I definitely want to further my career. I don't want to give that up.
So are you taking marketing in school?
Yeah, I actually started out as accounting, and I was just like, I can't do like 100% for accounting and racing right now, so I changed to just business administration, and so now I know like marketing, management, so I'm getting it all.
Yeah, accounting would probably tell you to get away from racing.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do both. I'm having to give it like 50-50. I can't. I'm not like that. I'm too stubborn.
So, do you have any significant car numbers that you run?
Do what?
Do you have a car number? The 21 that you run, is that your number or is that the car owner's number?
No, that's actually my number. We started with the number 2 actually in the quarter midgets, and then we just kind of moved up to 21, and it's stuck with me ever since.
So what's the significance with the 2 and the 21?
Well, it's kind of crazy because when I first started, I was like, I need something like lucky or whatever, and 2 was always a lucky number for me, and so was 1. And I started out racing 2, so then I was like, okay, well, let's just go to 21, and it was my favorite number and everything, so we ended up doing that, and, I mean, we've got championships and stuff with that, so it's just kind of stuck with me since. So it's going to be kind of hard to give that number up, but whatever happens, happens.
Now, other than Greenville, Pickens, and Gresham and those places, where else have you raced at?
We've raced at Pensacola, which is actually my favorite. It's one of my favorite racetracks where the Snowball Derby is. And then we've raced at Mobile.
So you've been traveling around a little bit to see other places.
Oh yeah, we've always had to travel.
Now, what's your favorite track?
Probably Pensacola.
Now, are there
Pensacola's one of my favorites, but for the late model stock, it has to be Greenville Pickens, just because it's so challenging.
So is there any chance that you may try to end up running down there for the Snowball?
We've talked about it. When we ran the trucks, the last year we were in it was the first year that they brought the trucks back. And we did run. We went and did the Snowball preview and all that. And at the preview, like, you can go and whoever's fastest gets a check. So basically everybody goes and just gets their car tuned in for the actual Snowball Derby. and we were there, and we practiced all day. I ended up beating my ex-car chief, so I just thought that was kind of cool. But at the snowball derby, we got there to race, and the locker broke, so we had to park it, which made me so mad. But I definitely see us going down there and racing.
Well, it sounds like you've got an interesting time going with your racing, and hopefully you'll get some funding and be able to move yourself along.
That or Dad's just gonna have to stroke a bigger check.
Yeah, you get tell Dad to stroke a bigger check. Yeah, that'll work.
Between racing and college, it's kind of difficult.
I feel for him, I tell you.
Now, tell us a little bit. I know you got some sponsors and stuff like that too. Tell us a little bit about your sponsors and everybody's helping you out.
Yeah, we have Do It Yourself Pull Parts. They have been with us for 4 years now, so I've been very blessed to have them on board. They've basically been like family for us, and they come and support us at the tracks and everything like that. So we've had Pull Apart, and then we have Palmer Dodge and John Meagle, and Broncos Pub, which is located in my hometown, Jasper, Georgia. And then we have Driven Steering Wheels that have helped us a lot. Zach's a really nice guy. He's been there a lot and supported me at the tracks. And then Overnight Wrap, which is RS Center, and he races also. So we've had a lot of people help us out and back us up, which means everything.
Now, where is Reinhardt University? Where is that at?
It's located in Molluska, Georgia. It's a very small, it's kind of like Jasper. It's very small.
So that's where you go to school. And where is your race shop? So I mean, that's got to be a little bit of a, you got to divide your time.
Yeah, our race shop's actually in Easley, South Carolina. So there's been days I've had to get out of school and immediately go up to South Carolina and then come back and then wake up at 8 a.m., take an exam and everything like that. So traveling's been a big thing for us, especially in the late models.
Do you work on the car?
I do not. I wish I could.
Well, how much? I'm gonna ask his question. How much are you involved with the setups and stuff? Or do you just give them the information and rely on what they know?
I don't know. That's one thing that they've helped me a lot with. We talk a lot, and if I feel something that's wrong, I'm not afraid to tell them, and it's always right. So just us communicating back and forth has helped a lot, and especially
always
with Toby
right.
there. Because with him being a race car driver, I mean, it's easy to see, like, if you're a crew member or something like that, it's easy to see and point it out, but it's not necessarily as easy as being in the seat. So that's where Toby's kind of helped back me up.
That's okay. That's pretty good. I like how you said you're always right, but that that's a driver thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I am a female, and I'm always right.
Well,
she's gonna be tough because she's already learned this.
I can't wait. I can't wait to come see you race somewhere so I can see this.
Yeah, really.
Well, it's been really nice talking to you tonight. We appreciate all the time you've given us. I hope you.
Thank y'all so much.
And hopefully you can get that funding and go out there and get some wins, and we're going to get you back on here and see how your season's going later on.
Okay, that'd be awesome. We definitely will. We'll work our feet off.
Maybe she can tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yeah, you study that and let us know, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right. Thank you a lot, and we'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Well,
we've had two spirited ones tonight. Ain't no doubt about it.
And then with our Facebook Live, it wants to reboot it at 30 minutes. I don't know why. I know the app updated, but I don't know what the deal is. We gotta figure that out.
All
and
right.
then our camera crashed, but I kicked the cord. I don't know if it come unplugged and plugged back in, if that was what the deal was with that or what.
All right, before we go off the air, we got to do our picks, our racing picks for this week. And you were last.
All right.
And
So, I mean, who would I go with?
yeah, he's picking first.
Yeah. I mean, who?
All right, Clayton, be thinking now.
Thanks, Maddie Ryan. So, who would I go with at Talladega? I mean, you can't go against Junior.
I should have known.
I planned that. See, I didn't want to win, so I could plan on that big win at Talladega.
Yeah, good.
Now, if I don't win, I'm gonna be eating a lot of crow.
Well, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
Why is
because I want to go one way, and I'm not really sure that's going to be the way to go. But it's Talladega. Anything's possible at Talladega. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my old. I'm going with Brad Keselowski.
It's not. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with anybody. I know the BK guys. Those guys are very excited about going to Talladega. I know it hasn't been announced yet, or that I know of, but I'm pretty sure that Michael will be in a third car.
He is. He's in the third car.
Yeah. It's already been announced.
Yeah, he's going to be in the 93.
Right.
Yeah.
Clayton's going to stick with the 78. He's riding with the 78 this weekend, which is not a bad pick either. But they're excited about going to Talladega, knowing David Reagan has won in a team similar to theirs, and hopefully so he can get hooked up with Michael and they can go to the front. We know Ryan made the. Maddie said Brad's got it all. Clayton's going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, well, don't count on it, Clayton.
Kyle Walker, he says the first time listener and already enjoying the show. Can't wait to hear the rest of y'all shows. Well, we appreciate that, Kyle. Cole. Sorry, Cole. You got a pick for this weekend at Talladega? We tell you who's already been picked. Junior, Brad K, and Truex. If you got a pick, let us know. We'll put you down and see who wins next week.
I got that right. All right, before we sign off, next week's show, I've already got one guest for next week. We're going to have Jeff Bodine with us next week.
Oh, that will be cool.
So that's going to be a good one. Can't wait for this weekend at Talladega because the ARCA race, Travis Miller's running the ARCA race at Talladega this week. Great big deal for Brandon McReynolds is going to be driving in the Xfinity race.
Yeah, for I forgot who he's going to be driving for.
He's driving the 24 JGL race, and he's going to be with them. So that's
Cole's going to go with Chase Elliott. Looks good. I mean, they had some good cars at Daytona.
They were a good car. That he made a little bit of a mistake, and that was all it took.
And finally, the 5 car finished 4th this week. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if he still has a new crew chief at Charlotte or not, or by Charlotte. No. The poor BK Racing, man, I'll tell you, David Reagan, he had a heck of a car. The first run, that long green flag run, he had run up to 16th place, and I know he had just gotten lapped, but he was like the fastest car besides the leader there. He had a great long run car. The first 20 laps, he'd lose a little bit, but after that, man, his car just hung in there. And then there's cautions kept coming, and it needed to go at least 50 laps, or he would just kept losing. And man,
well, hopefully they, I would love to see them pull off one, because if they did, ain't no telling what kind of celebration is going to be up there.
Ron would be in a hospital.
I know what.
They were saying how excited he was after that 6th place finish, man, at Bristol. That the whole team was, I mean, which was a win to them, no doubt.
And you have to be really confident in yourself to go out there and kiss Matt Dubetter.
Yeah.
He went out and kissed him on the cheek, but that would be the one guy that I would love to see win one. And I would love it. And if they win one, I would love to be at that shop Monday morning when everybody comes back to work.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. They're working hard. It's going to be another great show. We'll be at VIR this weekend for the K&N cars.
Yep.
I don't know if the IMSA cars are going to be there or not. They were last year.
There is another group coming, but I can't think of who it is.
Thanks, Clayton. So we have another great show. We can just get this Facebook Live to stay on for an hour or so. We'd be, or maybe my 10-year-old iPad might be just time to upgrade.
And I tell you, I think the perfect person to talk to about that
Who's that?
Is your local Verizon store.
Well, we're already talking. Adam has been by here. He's working on me.
I'm trying to help you get some points here.
That's Farrell Parkway, Verizon Wireless.
Look, call some names, man. Rick Godovic. Anyway.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say anything because you said I already brown nose enough.
Anyway.
I'm trying to get my picture up in the store. It'd be good for my sponsor. I might have them locked in for life after that. Who are you looking at?
Huh? No, I'm still looking. I ain't seen the race car back here in a while.
That's at my friend's shop. We're waiting on the scales to come back, and we're gonna be ready to go.
And where are we gonna race the first time?
Langley, if Bill Mullis hurry up and talk these people in California to get a deal done so we can do some racing at Langley Speedway.
Oh, well. All right, well, we'll see you next week. We know one person. Jeff Bodine's going to be with us next week. So if you have any questions for Jeff, give us a holler.
Yeah,
and
message us on me or Jack or post it on the Jack Dodsons Racing Insider News page. Some questions for Jeffrey Bodine. He's the one that handles approving drivers to run it the mile or a mile and a half or the 2 mile track. So it'd be interesting to know how that process works and what's the route or how do you go about it. And it's been around for a long time and has won one cup race, I think, or two. I think he won at Wilkesboro, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what the circumstances was, but I think he was in the 26 car, if I'm not mistaken.
you're talking Brett Bodine,
Oh,
not Jeff Bodine.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you're right. Wrong Bodine. Jeff's won a couple of races.
Yeah, he's won a couple. I was sitting here trying to figure out who you were talking about.
He's won Martinsville, won the first race at Martinsville for Hendrick Motorsports.
Right. In the number 5 All-Star Racing Chevrolet.
That's right. Red and white.
And I was
or
there.
Orange and white.
And I was there.
Damn. How old are you?
All right, well, we'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, both of us will be back. One of us may not.
Clayton had said earlier, make sure I bring the heater to Charlotte in the camper.
Hopefully, we're not going to need a heater in Charlotte, Clayton.
You're right about that. We had heat this weekend. I did have to turn it on.
Yep.